So, June 17th, 2017. Sorry I haven't done many updates lately. I've been extremely busy. And this update is going to be quick, so please excuse me if I talk fast. Corn is up and doing well. Let's have its second critical point of influence foliar feed drench, and taking off good. The first round of corn has not received its first foliar drench, but that comes up on the 22nd. Cucumbers are up and rocking, doing good. I got a new stage in between those. They're cranking along. Tilled, but haven't planted another section of sweet corn. Garlic is doing good. A lot of the rhubarb is popping through the mulch and looking healthy and happy. Oregano is cranking. Got to cut scapes on garlic. These are called scapes to develop more garlic root rather than have energy go into flower. We clip these off at this time of year. They are excellent, chopped up into scrambled eggs or anything else. Very strong garlic flavor, kind of like fresh garlic. And it promotes a little more root development in the plant. Time for another layer of mulch, it looks like. There's some weeds starting to show up here. The big thing I wanted to show you was potatoes. You can see that the mulch is really helping suppress the weeds. In fact, this is a great time to show you. The sun is right and the light is right and the weeds are right. Yeah, so you see the weeds coming up in between the mulch, but not in where the mulch is nice and thick. People always make the mistake of under mulching. They put down a couple of inches of mulch and then they complain that the weeds come up through the mulch anyway. You got to put it down thick enough to prevent weeds from coming up. So, as an example of that, you see the weeds coming up here beyond this second layer of mulch that I'm now laying down between the beds, right? And right now they're small, they're easy to suppress, easy to crush. In another week they'll be up here and much harder to suppress. You'd actually have to kind of lay them over as you mulch on them, or even possibly do a scratch till through or a mow through to knock them back. Anyway, so you see how thick this mulch is on here. That space between those rows, we're talking 6 to 8, sorry for the camera problem there, we're talking 6 to 8 inches of mulch depth. So it does take a lot of material, but as you can see, it's very effective, and these potatoes are very happy. Looking pretty good. I did see a few Colorado potato beetles on these a couple days ago when I was looking at them. I gave them another injection of complete nutritional and hormonal support, and I expect that the Colorado potato beetles won't be an issue in another week or two as the health of these plants increases. Tomatoes are starting to take off. The powdery dust you see on top of the chips and mulch is chicken manure. I just cleaned out one of the chicken coops, and that'll act as kind of a time release fertilizer. Next time it rains, that'll start to work its way in, and then as I add more mulch on top, it'll become part of the soil and feed the plants for the latter part of the season. These have also had a nutrient injection of complete nutritional and hormonal support. They are doing well. Plants are very happy, healthy. You can see nice little hairs all over that tomato plant. Nice dark green blue color to it. Shiny leaves. That's a healthy plant. Peppers are starting to establish. Not looking quite as great yet, but they'll stabilize and be much healthier and happier. The apple tree. I did want to show the apple tree quick, so we'll just take a look at that quick. This apple tree, I've been working for 3 years now with foliar feeds and nutritional support. And last year we had a bad late frost that we basically only got like 2 apples off this thing. So I didn't put any work into it. I should have taken advantage of a year with no fruit load to boost it. But I was just kind of discouraged. Anyway, this year it's been fed real well, both drenches and foliars, and you can see the health of this tree. And I want to point out that all the number of fruit on it. First of all, there's a tremendous amount of fruit load coming on here, and at the same time it's developing that fruit load, it's also developing new growth. You see all these new shoots and leaves. That's a sign of a tree that has a lot of energy and a lot of power to fill fruit and produce new shoots and grow out. And I'm going to continue to support this tree with good nutrition, and I think you'll be very impressed come end of the season with the amount of fruit it produces. And if you're local to the area and get to taste it and try it, the flavor of the fruit, because they're very sweet. They're almost like candy. Well, as always, I forgot one thing. I also transplanted some raspberries from my main raspberry patch. This will be a propagation bed to feed a larger area, which I'll probably plant next spring or early summer. And I plan for that to be around 1/4 to 1/2 acre, somewhere in there, probably more on the 1/2 acre side. But anyway, these are propagation for next year as well as production. And these are Nova raspberries. I just went through the post hole digger, dug the hole, and pre-dug all the holes with row guides, so nice straight rows. And then I went and dug the raspberry plants up and plunked them down in each of the holes, filled the soil back in, hit them with a shot of complete nutritional and hormonal support. And I know they look a little wilty today, but it's pretty warm out, and you'll see in a week or two they'll just take right back off and be growing like crazy. I think there's about 40 there, so anyway, just thought I would share that. Anyway, back to work on the farm. Thanks for watching the Farmacy Seeds Network.